John Minnicks here, and I'm going to introduce you to the Aero-Liberator camera. Right, so it's called the Aero-Liberator. It uses 4x5 film, and the Aero-Ektar lens, which is 178 millimeter f2.5. Yeah, made by Kodak and used in World War II as a reconnaissance lens. And as far as the lens itself, it has an interesting cut to the glass, whereas it's really a flat field lens. And well, it has a look of its own. You know, there's other fast lenses. They have different look than the Aero-Ektar. And the reason I built these cameras is because I wanted a portable SLR 4x5 camera that had a look, not to be different, but, well, put it frankly, the human eye can only see one thing. And it's kind of like the looks of this lens. You know, you can pick what's in and out of focus, your point of interest, and kind of to replicate the way I see. And it's all about me in a nice way. So to jump right in on this, here's the lens. Cameras are all custom built, both to the body of the camera, to the client, and to each camera, because the bodies are all different. The back focuses, the lenses are also different. And they do have swing and tilt. Pretty simple to operate. Yeah. So, there's that. The bellows are all, well, they're all handmade like everything else here. And you'd have a choice of colors of bellows. As far as the camera itself, they're all restored and converted over, and they come with a new bright screen as well as a mirror. Yeah, this little intro on this, pretty sweet, man. Yeah, basic goodness. Hood pops up, back down. Here we go. As far as the mechanics of this, and I know people have questions about that. The focus is about 3 feet to infinity, okay? And when the bellows are racked all the way out for a portrait, I usually add a half a stop to 3/4 of a stop for the light fall off, okay? Pretty basic. Add a little light. Get this back in. So just to show where the lens is on this thing in the camera, here's another lens, and there's the rear of the lens. Pretty crazy, huh? With a mirror that swings behind it too. So there's a lot of work that goes into these to get that to work. So I'm going to dive into this stuff here. Yes, thanks Dr. Tomke for lending me your camera. So the bottom knob, this is, we'll start from the bottom up. This is the tension of the spring, which would be your high-low settings here. This being at the high setting, and then just lifting up this little piece. That brings you to the low setting. And if you needed a speed in between, you just go halfway, okay? So I think there's 10 clicks, 12 clicks, you go halfway and you get a speed in between the two. Alrighty? So, this knob only goes one way, period. You can try the other way, but you will jam your camera. So we'll just go right up to high speed. And that's that. And the clicker's on the left side. There we go. Mirror set. Now there's a few operation functions here. If we slide this one forward, what that does is it disengages the mirror. Okay? And there's a few reasons for that. If you were to do a time exposure or on a tripod and didn't want the vibration in the mirror for whatever reason, you can use that. So click the camera. The mirror's up now. And in order to expose the film, we just pull back on this. That's it. And if, so that's the function of this piece. And that just drops down to your next speed. With the mirror engaged again, okay, if you wanted to go to a slower speed while the film is in the camera, okay? Even with the dark slide pulled out with the mirror down, okay? You can use this to go to your slower speeds. This piece here, that's your strobe sync. And your strobe sync with modern flash will only sync at the open O setting, okay? Which on the high or low, it'll be approximately a quarter of a second or an eighth of a second. That's it. If you have flash bulbs and certain bulbs, then you could shoot at the higher speeds. It doesn't matter what speed you use with the flash bulb, because the flash bulb is burning, you know, long duration of time. So that's a pretty simple camera, really. It's complex to work on, but as far as the back of the camera and more into the function of the Liberator, I use a graph lock back, 4x5. The back is fixed onto the camera. The back is fixed onto the camera landscape, okay? And the live image on 4x5 film is 4 inches by 4 3/4 inches. It's not quite a full 4x5 frame. And the reason for that is because it's a lot to get that lens working in this camera with a mirror, yeah? Still kind of daunts my mind that it works, and it does. And the other side of the camera, so this being the higher end finish camera that I do, the wood finish, this one here, it has 2 coats of base epoxy, marine epoxy, and it has about 9 coats of spar varnish on top, hand rubbed out, looking at 100+ hours. This one here, all ready to go, which are all custom orders. I don't stock them. This would be $6,000, $6K. And then if you wanted a lesser finish than this, not to say less, but less time for me, I could do either lacquer, or lacquer would be about the same price as this, or I could do Danish oil, which is a natural finish. So it's a beautiful, it's not even satin, it's the natural finish of the wood, and use many coats and build it up. And it's also a beautiful finish too. I don't do urethane. Urethane is, I won't get into finishes, but for the record, I used to build wooden boats. So here's the black camera finish. This is the natural, the way that they were made in the day. Sometimes I'll trim the hood off too. This one has a nice, it's got a really sweet hood. And the frizzies are all in nice shape. They're not falling apart or anything, so kept this, and that's what the client likes, and I agree with that. So, hey, off to another country. So I'll trim these down. It has a nice look as well, and also build new hoods and bellows, and repair cameras, also repair the shutters. Yes, you heard that right. I have the material, and I do charge for that about $400 for a new shutter for 2x3, 3x4, and 4x5 Graflexes. Yeah. And close this guy up. Thanks, Josh. And here's the workings here. All right. So the back is fixed. There you go. You have ground glass in the back and one on the top, and you know, they coincide with their focus. Duh. Hence liberation. Look through the. It's really a basic camera. You know, you get your exposure. I preferably, if I'm shooting portraits of people or animals or things like that, open shade is wonderful. Especially if there's a little trickle of light and funness in the background. That's where the lens really kicks in for me. And Aero-Liberator is, you don't need that thing right there. You don't need a tripod, okay? Handheld, the strap does a lot of the work. And I have one client, he shoots at a 30th of a second handheld all the time in darkness. You know, he'll push the film, but wonderful, wonderful images. You know, he's had many numerous shows, major galleries. It's not what he does. It's just one of his arts. Yes. Oh, so back to the lens. So the camera, the Liberators, they come with with a 77 millimeter filter thread on it. So if you do want to use filters for whatever reasons, neutral densities or polarizers or colored filters, 77 millimeter, it's nice. There's no different function of these cameras. It's all in the finish. Well, function is show up with this thing, something else, magic happens. But the black ones right now are $4,200 plus shipping. The wood finish, the high-end finish, they're $6,000. And then a spar varnish would be about $5,200, something like that. But I work with clients, you know, have choices of materials, leathers and nylon straps and bellows materials and finishes and different hoods, and yeah, that's what I do. And I work on other Graflexes as well. So johnminnicks.com. Yeah, you can find me at johnminnicks.com or just Google Aero-Liberator. Thanks for your time, and clients out there, you're the bomb, man. Thanks for letting me share my life and gifts, yeah? Bye.